Yo, what is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 gameplay video. Hey, in this video we're going to try to tackle the question Guardians have been wrestling with for over 7 years now, and that's the question: why do we hate hunters? Is it because of their stylish capes, or their flashy exotics, or does it go deeper than simple jealousy? Why is it that Titans trying to duel hunters always feel like Obadiah in Iron Man?
Oh, still, you little prick.
We'll answer all of that and more in this video, but since we're on the topic of hunters and their general approach of jumping around like a cat to start engagements, it seems like an appropriate time to thank today's sponsor, Mech Arena. I've been taking my hunter skills and applying them directly to how I smack around other players in this mobile real-time PvP game. Mech Arena takes me back to when arena shooters were all we wanted to play. It's true to the genre with well-balanced maps with visual indicators for objective points and flashy banners. It's a 5v5 mech shooter that runs smoothly on just about anything, including my iPhone, but it was exceptionally nice on my gaming phone. One of the best core features is the ability to link up and play with friends anytime, unlike a lot of mobile games out there right now. As a Destiny veteran, games to me really come alive when I have the option to customize my characters and get to know their kits and how to best utilize them. Mech Arena offers that exact experience by letting you pick from a huge roster of different mechs with different identifying features and abilities, but you also get to pick and upgrade a wide arsenal of weapons too, so you can tailor-make your mech to function exactly as you want them to. Unlock new skins by playing and respray your mech with a paint job that speaks to you. I ended up really liking the Lancer and using it as sort of like a hunter in Destiny, baiting corners and taking the high ground over key objective points. Mech Arena is celebrating their global launch with a huge in-game event right now, including daily rewards for newcomers to give them a lot of free stuff in the first week of playing. This game is free to play on Android and iOS right now, and you can use my personal QR code right here to snag a black carbon skin, 300 A coins, and 50,000 credits to give you a jump start in the game. Feel free to add me as well, and maybe I'll see you out there in the arena. Alright, let's get back to Destiny. Alrighty, let's start breaking down some of the reasons hunters are so obnoxious to play against. The very first thing on the list is the fact that hunters seem so often to be completely dead to rights, but then miraculously find a way to get away from certain death. Just when you have them on the ropes, they can break the targeting of your weapons and tracking of your grenades and cause your reticle to break its stickiness on them and instantly lunge out of fire into a safe space. And if you choose to pursue them, they have a wide variety of tools in their kit to all but guarantee their inevitable dumpstering on you. For example, Shatter Dive. If you pursue them, they can throw down an ice wall that doesn't even have to touch you, and then smash it for huge AoE damage to one-shot kill you, and do all of that in less than a second. In 0.7 seconds they can throw the grenade, smash the grenade, and kill you without ever seeing you, without ever tracking your movement or predicting where you would put. You could go high, it kills you. You could go low, it kills you. Or in my case, I actually love playing Gunslinger. Gunslinger is my favorite way to play Hunter. And we have options too, like the Trip Mine, which will either do massive damage on a pursuer or make them slow down and halt their push to deal with the grenade first, and that gives us time to get away or reposition. Hunters are master trappers. It's sort of in their nature. It's why they were designed the way they were designed and why they have the tools that they have. And they have an impressive arsenal of tools to use against people who chase them specifically. Dodge rolls that can stop you in your tracks when you come to the corner to chase them. Smoke grenades to cloud your vision, slow your movement. Trip mines and proximity knives that flinch and deal big damage. Shatter dives, disorienting blows that disrupt your attacks and stop you cold in your tracks. There's lots of options for hunters to turn the tables on someone who they thought they had the upper hand on. That's one of the reasons players hate hunters. The emotional toll of constantly getting a hunter weak only to be killed instantly when you pursue your kill is exhausting for players, and it ends up making them even more reckless when they encounter that player again in the future of that match, because they really want to stick it to him. As we mentioned earlier, the ability to roll is the #1 most useful non-damage dealing ability in the game, and it is not even close. Rifts and barricades are preemptive abilities that you deploy just before an engagement or after you already won one and need a second to recover. But the hunter dodge is both preemptive and reactive. A dodge in the middle of combat will turn the tides of the fight immediately. If the hunter is losing the fight, the dodge will break the aim assist of the other player, causing their bullets to miss. This often leaves opponents hitting the bottom of their magazine and forcing them to reload or switch to a weapon that isn't ideal for the scenario, and it allows the hunter then to return fire unopposed. That feeling is so terrible as an enemy player, but the dodge isn't only reactive, it can also be preemptive as well. A hunter has the option to dodge into a lane and avoid things like snipers or linear fusions that may be holding the corner. And know that when I speak about these things, I do it as someone who plays both sides of the engagement. Sometimes I'm the player who's aggravated because the hunter got away, or landed a one-hit attack and I couldn't dodge that thing. Or I'm the guy holding the lane sometimes. I'm on the other end of it. I'm the guy holding the lane whose shot wildly misses because the game didn't detect a target, there during the dodge. And then I get hit with a hand cannon or something before I can swap to my primary and return fire after the special weapon misses. But like I said, sometimes I'm the hunter. I play hunter a lot. I don't play any one subclass exclusively. I've been a hunter lover since back in Destiny 1 when I was constantly posting videos highlighting the gunslinger's utility. One of my first Destiny 2 videos ever was me taking the Night Stalker into Trials of the Nine and shredding people with the elaborate movement options that Hunter had in conjunction with early popular weapons with great in-air accuracy that complemented the Hunter's movement really well, like the Antiope or the Last Hope. So don't hear this video as simply Hunter hate. Instead, it's an explanation for why Hunters are aggravating to play against, presented from a Hunter perspective and a Titan and Warlock perspective, both Hunter and hunted. Another tool in the Hunter's kit, which is absolutely incredible, is their ability to change directions on command in an instant, both on the ground and in the air. Other classes can't do this. A hunter can jump into the air, and then mid-air and mid-combat, they can jump again in a different direction that can be unpredictable for the opponent. This makes hunters the hardest opponents to hit with projectile weapons like fusion rifles. And it's largely why I don't actually use fusions very much at all in endgame PvP activities. Because hunters are the king in endgame PvP, and they always have been since Destiny 1 first launched Trials. A fusion rifle lets out a loud audio cue when it's being charged, and a hunter hears it, and a good hunter will use their directional control to completely throw off that VOOT. If I'm the hunter and I jump into a duel with a fusion rifle, I'll simply use my double jump to change where I am while the opponent is charging the fusion. That way the shot misses, and the opponent has to start charging all over again. If I'm on the ground in a duel with a fusion, I'll simply dodge when I hear the charge in a random direction. This breaks the aim assist of the fusion, and if you don't know this, you don't use fusions a lot, when a fusion rifle doesn't have aim assist on a target, it actually causes the projectile spread to be much more severe, as we broke down in a different video. In other words, a hunter mid-dodge is nearly impossible to kill with a fusion rifle shot unless the opponent happens to predict the direction you were going to roll, and they manually drag the fusion while keeping the barrel down manually as well. No other class in the game gets that immediate directional control except Top Tree Dawnblades, and even then, you have to play a very specific skill tree on one of the Warlock subclasses. You only get one dodge now before the cooldown, and it doesn't break aim assist, so Warlocks are actually pretty easy to track and shoot during that animation. And the only way to use that dodge on the ground involves inputting a different series of commands than when you're in the air to pull it off, making it harder for the average player to perform a ground dodge. So it's harder to do with less reward and can only be performed on one specific skill tree. In other words, it's completely inferior. It's a great ability, don't get me wrong, one of the best Warlock kits, one of the best Warlock tools in the kit, but it doesn't offer as much as a dodge roll. So anyway, the hunter can change directions both on the ground and in the air, break aim assist, and that makes them very squirrely. My survivability skyrockets when I play hunter just because you have the ability to get away from so much more. This also includes freezing and slowing debuffs. When you break out of a freeze from a silence and squall, you can dodge roll away from the cloud of ice and get away. Warlocks and Titans, when they break free, they just get to take 3 slow steps in any direction and still die. And so there you have it. These are just some of the reasons why Guardians hate playing against Hunters, broken down in a list that's easy to quantify and qualify that frustration. If this video resonated with you, feel free to hit the like button on the video. If you're a Hunter main and you feel attacked, suggest which class I should break down next for why players hate them, and I'll keep this going. Just remember, we're not throwing shade at any players here. We're just breaking down the things that make Hunters annoying to fight against. If anything, it's a compliment. Be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible.